I can understand what people say, but I still can't speak English. If this is you, this is the right thing. Get ready for this activity. This activity is for someone that needs to improve their English speaking ability. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and give me a like. Not only will you improve your speaking, you will improve your memory and the muscles in your mouth. It will be either business English or everyday English. The method. You will hear full questions and their replies, but I will break each question and reply into 2 or 3 parts. Sometimes even 4 parts. Rule: when I stop after saying something, you must repeat or say it after me each time. In the end, your goal is to be able to say the questions and replies fully by yourself from memory. Only from memory. Why do we do this? We want to develop your speaking ability. Remember, this will help your grammar. This will help your muscle memory in your mouth. It will improve your pronunciation. And last but not least, it will improve your retrieving from your brain. Retrieving words, retrieving vocabulary, retrieving grammar. Before we start, here's the vocabulary. Pronunciation practice. Repeat 2 times each. Plastics, plastics, pleasant, pleasant, plenty, plenty, played, played, please, please, polite, polite, porridge, porridge, pork, pork, pound, pound, pour, pour, press, press, present, present, pretty, pretty, promise, promise, public, public, quality, quality, quick, quick, quicker, quicker, raincoat, raincoat, and rat. Are you ready? I am. Let's go. Here we are for question number 1. Remember, repeat after me. Have you ever? Have you ever tried to reduce? Have you ever tried to reduce your plastic usage? Great. Yes, I actively. Yes, I actively try. Yes, I actively try to reduce. Yes, I actively try to reduce my plastic usage. Yes, I actively try to reduce my plastic usage by using. Yes, I actively try to reduce my plastic usage by using alternatives. No, I haven't made. No, I haven't made a conscious effort. No, I haven't made a conscious effort to reduce. No, I haven't made a conscious effort to reduce my plastic usage. Question 2. What's the most pleasant surprise? What's the most pleasant surprise you've ever received? the most pleasant, the most pleasant surprise, the most pleasant surprise was, the most pleasant surprise was a spontaneous, the most pleasant surprise was a spontaneous weekend, the most pleasant surprise was a spontaneous weekend getaway. I can't recall. I can't recall experiencing. I can't recall experiencing any particularly. I can't recall experiencing any particularly pleasant. I can't recall experiencing any particularly pleasant surprises. Question 3. If you could have, if you could have plenty of, if you could have plenty of one thing, if you could have plenty of one thing, what would, if you could have plenty of one thing, what would it be? I'd love to have, I'd love to have plenty of time. I'd love to have plenty of time to travel. I'd love to have plenty of time to travel and explore. I'd love to have plenty of time to travel and explore the world. I don't really wish. I don't really wish for plenty of. I don't really wish for plenty of anything specific. I don't really wish for plenty of anything specific at the moment. Question 4. Have you ever played? Have you ever played a role? Have you ever played a role in a school? Have you ever played a role in a school or community? Have you ever played a role in a school or community play? Yes, I played. Yes, I played the lead role. Yes, I played the lead role in a school play. Yes, I played the lead role in a school play during high school. No, I've never had. No, I've never had the opportunity. No, I've never had the opportunity to be part of. No, I've never had the opportunity to be part of a play. Question 5. What was the last thing? What was the last thing that pleasantly? What was the last thing that pleasantly surprised you? I was pleased. I was pleased to find. I was pleased to find out. I was pleased to find out I aced. I was pleased to find out I aced the difficult. I was pleased to find out I aced the difficult exam. Nothing has. Nothing has pleasantly. Nothing has pleasantly surprised. Nothing has pleasantly surprised me. Nothing has pleasantly surprised me recently. Question 6. Can you recall a time? Can you recall a time when someone's Can you recall a time when someone's polite gesture Can you recall a time when someone's polite gesture made your day? Yes, a stranger Yes, a stranger held the door. Yes, a stranger held the door open for me. Yes, a stranger held the door open for me, and it brightened. Yes, a stranger held the door open for me, and it brightened my day. I can't think of I can't think of any specific instance. I can't think of any specific instance where someone was. I can't think of any specific instance where someone was particularly polite. Question 7. How adventurous are you? How adventurous are you when it comes? How adventurous are you when it comes to trying new foods? How adventurous are you when it comes to trying new foods like porridge? I love trying new foods. I love trying new foods including different types. I love trying new foods including different types of porridge. I prefer sticking to familiar foods. I prefer sticking to familiar foods and haven't tried. I prefer sticking to familiar foods and haven't tried porridge yet. Question 8. What's your favorite dish? What's your favorite dish made with? What's your favorite dish made with pork? What's your favorite dish made with pork if you eat pork? I absolutely love pulled pork. I absolutely love pulled pork sandwiches. I absolutely love pulled pork sandwiches with barbecue sauce. I don't eat pork. I don't eat pork, so I haven't tasted. I don't eat pork, so I haven't tasted any pork dishes. Question 9. Have you ever found Have you ever found a forgotten pound coin? Have you ever found a forgotten pound coin and felt lucky? Yes, I once found. Yes, I once found a pound coin. Yes, I once found a pound coin in my jacket pocket. Yes, I once found a pound coin in my jacket pocket unexpectedly. No, I've never come. No, I've never come across. No, I've never come across a forgotten pound. No, I've never come across a forgotten pound coin. Question 10, halfway through. Have you ever have you ever accidentally have you ever accidentally poured have you ever accidentally poured too much? Have you ever accidentally poured too much of something? Oh yes. Oh yes, I once accidentally. Oh yes, I once accidentally poured. Oh yes, I once accidentally poured too much milk. Oh yes, I once accidentally poured too much milk into my cereal. Thankfully, thankfully I've never poured. Thankfully I've never poured too much of anything. Question 11. If you were featured If you were featured in a press article, if you were featured in a press article, what would you want? If you were featured in a press article, what would you want it to be about? I'd love to be I'd love to be featured. I'd love to be featured for my charity work. I'd love to be featured for my charity work in making I'd love to be featured for my charity work in making a difference. I don't really I don't really have any I don't really have any aspirations. I don't really have any aspirations to be featured. I don't really have any aspirations to be featured in the press. Question 12. What was the best What was the best present What was the best present you ever received? What was the best present you ever received from someone? The best present was. The best present was a surprise trip. The best present was a surprise trip to my dream. The best present was a surprise trip to my dream destination. I've received. I've received many gifts. I've received many gifts, but none stand out. I've received many gifts, but none stand out as the best. Question 13. Can you describe the prettiest place? Can you describe the prettiest place you've ever visited? The prettiest place. The prettiest place I've visited. The prettiest place I've visited was a serene mountain. The prettiest place I've visited was a serene mountain lake. I haven't been. I haven't been to any place. I haven't been to any place that I'd consider. I haven't been to any place that I'd consider exceptionally. I haven't been to any place that I'd consider exceptionally pretty. Question 14. What's the hardest promise? What's the hardest promise you've ever had? What's the hardest promise you've ever had to keep? The hardest promise. The hardest promise was keeping. The hardest promise was keeping a secret. The hardest promise was keeping a secret for my best friend. I usually avoid making promises. I usually avoid making promises I can't keep. I usually avoid making promises I can't keep, so nothing comes to mind. Have you ever given a speech or presentation? Have you ever given a speech or presentation in front of? Have you ever given a speech or presentation in front of a large audience? Yes, I gave a presentation. Yes, I gave a presentation at a conference. Yes, I gave a presentation at a conference and it was. Yes, I gave a presentation at the conference and it was exhilarating. I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of public speaking. I'm not a fan of public speaking, so I'm not a fan of public speaking, so I've avoided such situations. Question 16. Are you willing to pay more? Are you willing to pay more for quality products? Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe in investing. Absolutely. I believe in investing in high quality. Absolutely. I believe in investing in high quality, long lasting. Absolutely. I believe in investing in high quality, long lasting items. I usually opt for I usually opt for more affordable. I usually opt for more affordable products. I usually opt for more affordable products even if the quality I usually opt for more affordable products even if the quality is lower. Question 17. Do you tend to make quick decisions? Do you tend to make quick decisions or take your time? I'm quite decisive. I'm quite decisive and prefer making. I'm quite decisive and prefer making quick, well thought out. I'm quite decisive and prefer making quick, well thought out decisions. I'm more cautious. I'm more cautious and take my time. I'm more cautious and take my time before making. I'm more cautious and take my time before making any decision. Question 18. How do you manage? How do you manage to work smarter? How do you manage to work smarter and achieve? How do you manage to work smarter and achieve quicker results? I use productivity. I use productivity techniques. I use productivity techniques that help me. I use productivity techniques that help me complete. I use productivity techniques that help me complete tasks quicker. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about. I'm not concerned about finishing. I'm not concerned about finishing things quicker. I'm not concerned about finishing things quicker. I prefer taking. I'm not concerned about finishing things quicker. I prefer taking my time. Question 19. Share a funny story. Share a funny story about using. Share a funny story about using a raincoat during. Share a funny story about using a raincoat during a sudden. Share a funny story about using a raincoat during a sudden downpour. Once I forgot. Once I forgot my raincoat. Once I forgot my raincoat and had to. Once I forgot my raincoat and had to improvise. Once I forgot my raincoat and had to improvise with a plastic bag. I rarely use a raincoat. I rarely use a raincoat as I don't. I rarely use a raincoat as I don't encounter. I rarely use a raincoat as I don't encounter rain often. Question 20. The last one. If you had a pet rat. If you had a pet rat, what quirky name? If you had a pet rat, what quirky name would you? If you had a pet rat, what quirky name would you give it? I'd name it Squeaky. I'd name it Squeaky because of. I'd name it Squeaky because of the adorable sounds. I'd name it Squeaky because of the adorable sounds it makes. I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of rats. I'm not a fan of rats, so I wouldn't consider. I'm not a fan of rats, so I wouldn't consider having. I'm not a fan of rats, so I wouldn't consider having one as a pet. Everybody that has made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back. You did it. Training like this. This activity helps you become a better speaker. It's going to give you the grammar that you need, the vocabulary that you need. These are activities that will help you when you're on the way to work, when you're washing the dishes. Preferably, I suggest a quiet place to do this. Very, very good job. Again, I provide courses to companies. I build them. They're very customized, and I teach business English, and that's what I do. I got a couple courses. You can see here a fluency one, an email booster, definitely with conversations in business English. I got that, and I also have grammar. If you have not subscribed, please do that. And get ready for the next activity in activity 3. Activity